All right, all right. Welcome back to another episode of the Masterful Conversations podcast, where we learn about leadership from the men who have served or are currently serving as worshipful master in a regular lodge of free and accepted Masons. I am Brother Matthew Wagstaff, a proud past master of Eureka Lodge number 36 out of Rochester, New York. We're currently serving as my worshipful master is Brother Jermaine Myers. And I'm with
I am Brother Mark Alexander, proud past master of Sons of Kings, Lodge number 123, out of Brooklyn, New York, where Brother Kevin Parker currently serves in the Oriental Chair.
We both hail from the most worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of the state of New York. We're currently serving as our Grand Master is Most Worshipful, Darren M. Morton. So, before we introduce our guests for this episode today, we want to do a couple announcements or one announcement and then our disclaimer. So, first off, want to make it a quick announcement. Congratulations to our senior Grand Warden, Kevin P. Wardally, Right Worshipful Kevin P. Wardally, on publishing his first book. And I'm just gonna read the title. So his first book is called "In the Dark as Well as in the Light: A Collection of Masonic Essays, Thoughts, and Reflections." So in the dark as well as in the light, and I believe you can find this on Amazon and some other outlets. So congratulations, right word for Wardali. I mean,
Congrats.
you've been a scholar in the craft for a very, very, very long time. Still are a scholar in the craft. Inspired many brothers to really pick up that book and learn more about masonry outside the ritual. And so much appreciation for all that you do for the craft, and congratulations on this milestone. I know it's been a long time coming, and I
Coming.
know
Yeah, definitely.
you've had this in mind for a while. So it's great to be able to hit that milestone and make that achievement. And also want to just sort of shout out a brother, our senior warden, Tracy Williams from Eureka Lodge, who he published maybe 3 or 4 books. This is before I published my first book, and he always said like, you got a book in you, you gotta get it out, just get it out. The same with Right Worshipful John Hill out of Eureka Lodge as well, who published multiple books. So I say that to say like we all have a book in us, even though we think it's kind of like daunting. And there was sort of like this aura around authors that you had to study for 12 years and go through this special editing process. There is a process for sure, and at the same time, we all have lived experiences that we can share and help others grow and develop, just like we've been doing on the podcast through our stories. So audibly, we're sharing our stories, but you can also write those down, try to get those written down. So hopefully this inspires other brothers to get their thoughts, their experiences, put it on wax, as they say, so that we can actually go back 20 years from now, 30 years from now, get what was on your mind, get your thoughts, learn from your experience, and help us all grow together. All right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, man, that's definitely true. I had made that Facebook post a couple of weeks ago that I never thought I would know so many authors in my life. Coming up as a kid, an author just seemed like something so far off and so untouchable. But now
right.
I know so many brothers and sisters and family members and everything like that that have put their things down and wrote for the history of it. So yeah, it's definitely true what you say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hmm.
So everybody get a book out there with all these tools, self-publishing and all these things. Definitely there's different levels. Obviously there
Hmm.
are levels, so let's not act like that's not a thing. But at the same time, we can all get our words out there and be able to capture those thoughts. All
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Don't try to make the New York Times bestseller list, everybody. It ain't
Hey,
gonna happen.
you could try,
I mean,
aim high.
you can aim for it, I'm saying, but don't get disappointed if you don't. You know what I mean? It's all good. If you touch one person and you might change their life. That's the important part, you know?
Absolutely. What is it?
Definitely.
Aim for the stars. If you do miss the stars, you'll be amongst in the moon or something, or
Yeah,
vice
something to
versa.
that effect. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly,
there we
exactly.
go.
Yeah,
There we go. That's what it's
yeah,
all about right there.
about right
That's the
there.
legacy
Exactly,
we talking
exactly.
about right there.
Oh,
That's why
exactly.
we do all this right here for the
Hmm.
legacy, for
Hmm.
sure, and the love.
Definitely.
All right.
All right, yeah, the disclaimer. The information shared on our show is intended for education and entertainment purposes. The views expressed are our own. They do not express the views and opinions of our lodges, respective grand lodges. If you have any questions, please consult the proper officer in your jurisdiction.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, It is my honor to introduce our guest today. We have with us past master Stephen Barrett from St. Mary's Lodge number 4 out of the most worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Michigan. I think it's our first.
Never state down. Check it
Yeah, I think
off.
it's our first brother from Michigan. All right, all right. Um, St. Mary's Lodge is at Ann Arbor, Michigan, as well. And so, past Master Barrett served during the COVID years, 2020 and 2021. God bless you, brother. Those were interesting time in the craft. So it'd be interesting to hear how it was, your story, when you share that, how it was in Michigan. We know how it was in New York. Interesting to hear how it was in Michigan. He is also a past illustrious commander in chief for Peninsular Consistory number 44. He's a past excellent high priest of Haggai chapter number 14, Holy Royal Archmasons. He has currently so a couple of roles. He is currently the district deputy grand master for the 6th district of the most worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of the state of Michigan. He is currently the worthy patron of Naomi chapter number 12, Order Eastern Stars, Prince Hall affiliated. He is also currently the district deputy grand master. Excuse me. He's also currently the director of media relations for the United Supreme Council, Northern Jurisdiction, Ancient Accepted Scottish Rite. And he's also a podcast host as well. So, a fellow
hmm
podcast host.
hmm
Uh, what's the name of the podcast again for the United
Moving
Supreme
camp,
Council?
right?
The Moving
Moving
Camp.
camp, moving camp, the
Moving
moving
Camp,
camp.
right? And
Hmm
so definitely have been tuning into that and getting some light there and hearing some education from that body of masonry as well. So
Scottish, right?
Scottish Rite. And so past Master Barrett is in
Wait,
other
I also,
organizations as well.
yeah, I do want to definitely don't forget that he's a past thrice. I don't know the name of his council, but he's the first thrice of that council, thrice illustrious commit what is it, Tim? Look, I'm in there, but I'm barely too much in purple myself. But yeah, he's the first one of that. So that goes along with the historical point. I know having
Hmm.
still having my first worship master, past Master Derek Pritchett around is an honor. So you are in that type of, view to somebody 50 years from now. So, and this
Absolutely.
podcast will help, cement your legacy. So
And
that'll
this
be
is
Thank you.
Enoch Council number 3.
Enoch
Yep.
Council. Nice. Hmm.
All right. Yeah, I can go on. This brother's
Yeah,
resume
yeah.
is extensive and he is
Oh,
definitely putting in the work. So
also,
we
I
can
said
talk
he's
about
also part of the first what was it KCCH
Yes, sir.
for the Supreme Council. So that was dope. He's part of that class that we just had in 2025. Hmm
yeah, we definitely gonna talk about how you use your 24-inch gauge, my brother, to do all the things, be married, work.
hmm
So it's gonna be real interesting to hear your story because I think there's a lot that we can learn from your experience. So welcome, Past Master Barrett, to the Masterful Conversations podcast. A pleasure having you.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate. Thank you for the opportunity. Like I said, I've been watching you guys for a long time. I know past Master Alexander. We've had conversations. He's actually was the first one to tell me that hey, you should put the little ladies on the podcast for the moving camp, and that's what brought up one of the dialogues for us. So I
Nice.
appreciate you, sir, because we brought him on the podcast. We, like I said, listen to wise counsel.
Yeah. Well, great. Great. Glad to hear
Mark is an influential force across all bodies of
that.
masonry, so we appreciate him for
I'm
sure.
just curious, bro.
That's it.
Yeah,
Just ask the question and see where it goes, right?
yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, Pastor Mr. Barrett, this is all about leadership, learning about leadership through your journey, and also understanding your journey and how you got to the East specifically. And we could talk about how you show up as a leader in other houses, but we specifically focus on craft masonry,
Yeah.
Blue House. So just talk a little bit about your background, when you became a master mason, and then your journey to the East.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I first want to give a shout out to my worship master Rolando Eccleston. When he watches this, yes, sir, I'm gonna be nice. All right, I'm gonna play right. I'm not gonna. And the reason why I'm here is because you're phenomenal. I told him I'll tell him that. But and also right now, our 63rd most worshipful Grand Master is Dorian M. Smith, and so I want
Mhm.
to give shots and props to him for allowing me to do all the stuff that I do under his tutelage. So thank you. But my journey was really weird in the sense of I was like really bad when I first started off because I joined Masonry in 2008
Mm.
So what happened was is I was online for Sigma at the University of Michigan,
Mm.
and literally the month later I took my EA degree by myself.
Mm.
So I was trying to memorize both things. Um, through a lot of help, I got through Sigma. Ended up being kind of like disencouraged, so I didn't finish like masonry until like the following year, and then 2008. So I was raised March 22nd, 2008. So I've been in it for a little bit. Started off really young. Started off with as a senior deacon, jumped from senior deacon to junior warden. Sat as junior warden for 2 years. Then I was senior warden for 2 years. But during that time that I was senior warden, unfortunately, my worship master had some complication with schedules. Some other things happened that was outside of his control. So I led the lodge for basically 2 years.
Mm.
So I wasn't a past master when I got off. And then because I was young, right, and inexperienced, really bad. Like I want to make sure I can really. Everybody talks about, oh, I can do this, and I'm like, no, no, dude, I was really bad. Like I wasn't a good leader. I didn't get nothing done. I was arrogant. Like it was bad.
Mm.
So what happened was I was supposed to go into the East in 2014. I would have been like 22, 23 years old. So I've been one of the youngest Mason in the
Wow.
state at the time,
Mm.
and then I would have been like one of the youngest worship masters. I got mad, blamed it on my work schedule, and then I disappeared for a while. Right, so I let somebody else go. I stayed as a senior warden, and then I just stopped going to lodge meetings.
Mm.
Come to find out, I went to work, ended up becoming a director there. Ended up having two more kids, so I had three kids now. Then I learned a little bit of stuff, and then I came back, and unfortunately, due to some internal struggles that our lodge had, there was only like three people meeting in the lodge meetings at times. So we went from a 100-man roster when I
Mm.
started to
Mm.
50 on roll and only three showing up. So
Wow.
it
Mm.
was, and the reason why I came back is because past Master Raymond Spears texted me for a whole entire year, like every
Mm.
month, and sometimes like day after day after day. He was just texting me, come back, hang on, come back, hang on, literally for like a year. So I came to a meeting, I saw where we were at, and I just felt horrible because oftentimes people say, "Oh, I'm busy," but like, let's be real. There's two types of people. There's one person that's going to say, "Hey, I'm really busy," and they really got something on. Other people just using that as an excuse. I was using that as an excuse. I could have went to some meetings, right? I could have like done one community service. Like I didn't have to be super Mason, but I could have done something. So I was kind of frustrated, but at that point I was a little
Yeah,
bit more mature.
I'm
And
gonna
then I,
jump in with one little point
yeah,
real quick on that. I just learned something recently that former President Barack Obama, he was coached his daughter's basketball team while he was president of the United
oh
States.
wow,
You
wow, I
got
didn't know
time.
that.
Stop playing.
Hey, hey,
Priorities. What
right,
we say, what we talk priorities.
right,
Exactly.
100, 100
It was a
percent.
priority, so he made it work.
Exactly.
That right, that's exactly it. And so we'll talk about like kind of some of my viewpoints in that a little bit down the road. But
Mm.
what ended up happening was I ended up becoming a worshipful master because I already sat as a warden. So full smart. So like when I came in there, the person that was in front of me, rest in peace, Paul Patterson. He was a phenomenal, phenomenal brother. Like ritualistically, he had some opportunities, but he had such passion, and he said, "We're not going to miss it. We're not going to cancel one meeting." That was powerful when I think about it now. So every meeting that was scheduled, we had a meeting. Even if
Mm.
it was two people, five people, 10 people, he had a
Mm.
meeting. So I came into the East in 2020. We was running. I actually coerced my sons and my best friend, past master Dr. Hernando Flowers, to be my junior warden because I've known him for 17 years. So I was like, hey, if I'm gonna rebuild this, let's have somebody with me. And then I had the rah guy, which is past master Ray Spears, and the three of us was like, hey, if we can't put it on with the three of us, we're not gonna do it. So we was running, boom, then COVID happened. And then we had to kind of switch gears and get into a little bit of a different mindset from there. But um the journey was fun. It was an interesting ride. We created some things. And the biggest thing, and then I'll open up to any of the questions you got, was Ray Spears. He's always a visionary, right? So like I have him like, hey, you need to just think, right? You come up with ideas, and then me and Hernando are like executors, right? So like everybody had their role. He said he saw the Masonic Round Table and a couple other places. He was like, hey, we can do that, and I was like, no, we
Mm.
can't. So I said, no. I was like, no, this is stupid. Like, I'm not gonna do this. But I was like, hey, I'm just gonna trust Ray, right? So Ray
Mm.
gave us the ideas. Hernando's a doctorate, so like he's intelligent as hell. And then I'm just like an exciting, like I just try to like, let's go, let's go. So we ended up having like one of the first lecture series from a lodge that was broadcast, right? So there's some that still keep going on. Like I know in New York, you guys have one that continuously goes on every Wednesday.
Yep.
Ours is advertised. That's what's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
As ours is like advertised even to our counterparts. So we were
Yep.
going into the Winding Stairs podcast space. We were going everywhere and just trying to get them. So we've had people when we were doing our podcast. We ended up having people from India, Brazil, Nova Scotia, a couple places in Mexico because of our topic. The Indian was when we did the Kundalini. That was a very interesting lecture, and we had somebody like I said from India on the call. I had a couple past grandmasters, um, from a couple different other countries too as well. So we had one from Japan too, because we did
Mm.
the Tao was one of our
Mm-hmm.
lectures, right? So
Nice.
that was kind of, and I bring that up because you'll see that work that happened there brought me to how I do the podcast for USC, right? That was like the ground foundational work, and it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even my idea, and I didn't even believe in myself. So
Mm.
that's kind of, like I said, I appreciate Ray for putting me on game, changed my
Yeah,
life.
appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for that backstory. Just for clarification, how old were you when you were raised?
I was 18.
Okay, so they got a different, slightly different age requirement out in Michigan. So being raised at 18, jumping relatively quickly into the warden seat, then you were a senior warden for 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
For
Yep.
2 years, basically running the lodge because the worshipful master had some challenges, but you
Yep.
were still, as you said, kind of immature and still going through your own growth journey.
100%. 100%.
God works in mysterious ways, so it probably was a reason why you didn't go and move. But that was in 2014.
Yeah. I was supposed
Uh,
to have been elected in 2014.
all these things. Okay, so then take off about 6 years, 5, 6 years, and then came back into the lodge. So the year you were reinstated was the year you were elected worshipful master.
No, so this is one thing. This is the reason I felt really bad. I did like a specific amount of work as worship master. Is the lodge paid my dues for 5 years to the Grand Lodge.
Oh, okay. He carried you.
So
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I've never been suspended. So
Okay.
like,
you never got
so
dropped for non-payment of dues. Got
Mm-hmm.
you.
So, which was wrong. They should have dropped me. Being very
Yeah.
transparent. And me as a district deputy, if any of my lodges are looking, I'm coming there saying suspend
So
them.
yeah, we got 2 years on our constitution. 2 years, drop them.
Nah, we got 6 months. You don't pay in
Six
six
months?
months? Yeah, you can suspend them because we
Wow.
pay
Okay.
every month. So
Okay.
I told them like, hey,
Suspend or drop? I'm sorry, just semantics. Suspend a brother or drop him?
so in our jurisdiction, we would suspend somebody for non-payment of dues.
Dudes.
So
Yeah.
so we would drop them from the roll. They can
Yeah.
come back with just paying back the 6 months plus a reinstatement fee.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In our lodge, you got to pay 6 months in advance because we want to make sure you're good. So it's basically a year plus a reinstatement fee if you get suspended for non-payment of dues.
Oh, okay,
So
okay, cool.
yeah, yeah. So it's it was an interesting thing. So I calculated how much. I know this to this day. They spent $620 on me, right?
Mm.
Because of our due structure to the Grand Lodge taxes, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I have to put that much back in at least for them to recoup. So one reason why our lodge kind of shot out there is because we had more of a professional looking like website. Our website was a little bit more interactive, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
registered for our sessions or any of our online things,
Mm-hmm.
you had to go through our website,
Website.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you had to see and interact with us. So like I'm paying for that out of my pocket because again, I felt bad because they paid for me. Then the other big claim to fame was we did a food pantry because it was COVID. So for 2 years, we collected food and distributed out in the city of Ann Arbor. And again, that was Ray Spears' idea, wasn't mine, but we executed on it. And I think when we tallied it last, we got up to almost like close around like $4,000 worth of food being donated,
That's great.
and I think a couple hundred hours of people, and it
Yeah.
wasn't just St. Mary's. It was we did it with my grotto. My OES chapter was involved. A couple other like the Ladies of the Circle Perfection was involved
Okay.
too. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like it was a lot of
Yep.
people that jumped in during that
Mm-hmm.
time to make it work. But we did it for about almost 2 years, man. So it was good.
Wow.
And then I'm
And
having
that's
yeah, go ahead.
fantastic, man. That's great work. Yeah. Just to roll up your sleeves in the time of need in our communities and really do what Masons are supposed to do. Do you share a building with another lodge or do you have your own building?
Uh, with a lodge, but it's not a Masonic lodge. We meet in the Elks Lodge, James L. Crawford Lodge,
Oh, okay.
322.
Okay. So you all are renting or you are the
Renting,
landlords? You rent
renting.
it? Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Got you. Because that adds just another dynamic. Like if you have a lodge that you own and you're
Oh
like
yeah.
going through growth and development, or you're trying to reactivate or re-energize, that real estate component can definitely.
Oh,
There's pros and
100%.
cons to both of it, but definitely adds another variable for you to be thinking about.
Oh, 100%, 100%. So we are fortunate we didn't have that. We just had the motivating, inspiring, getting our members out. Um, Again, we had the ideology of if the three of us can't pull it off, we didn't do it. But if we can pull it off, hey man, we're going for it.
Hmm.
And we had a different. I think that allowed success for that year. So not for me, but for the lodge, was myself and Hernando. We had a like a motif or a saying. So they have to hear about us every 3 weeks. So like every lodge, like we have a distribution email channel, so we would send out what we're doing consistently. And if we don't send something out within 3 weeks, we find something like we'll find an event to do to just
Mm,
be able to promote. And so we were just in people's
mm.
faces for like 24 months straight, just in your face consistently. You saw our name over and over and over and over again. And that kind of helped to our branding. We ended up winning Lodge of the Year too in 2022. So that was kind of cool. So I like that.
Yeah. And
Amen.
you got Worshipful Master of the Year too.
I was gonna leave that alone. I was gonna leave that alone. But
Oh,
yes,
well,
sir.
we said it,
Here we
not you.
go. Here
Don't
we
worry
go
about
again.
it.
All
Yeah.
three of us. Lodges of the year. All right, cool.
We got
So
three lodges of the. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
again.
Cute.
so my lodge did a great job. My lodge did a great job. I was
Yeah,
chilling. I was cracking jokes.
absolutely. You hit a point though too that is important is to speak on, having that wingman, so to speak, that's
Oh
going to
yeah.
ride with you and not trying to do it all on your own. You actually have what you said, your best friend,
Yeah, yeah, that's
being able to
mine.
be to do that. And I think that adds a level of value, security, strength when you're trying to basically rebuild the lives from scratch. So the fact that you had that existing relationship with your line brother, your Sigma line brother,
Yeah, that's my number one. Yeah.
and you have another, was it the Spears? Is he I'm not familiar with him. Is he older brother?
Now he's actually the same age as me.
He's
He
oh
just
so
came
you
in. He just came behind me. So he was a current sitting senior warden when we came in. And so what we
got
talked about was when I became worship master, he stayed as senior warden, and then Hernando went in as junior warden.
got it.
Um, and then we
And
just
you
kind of
all
kept.
were under the age of 30, under 30.
At
Or
that time I was about 30. What? This is 6 years ago. So 30, 31, 32. We're all the same age. We was all born in '87. So we
yeah.
were
Nice.
all we were like 31, 32.
So all the young brothers listening to this right now, you
Yeah.
get together, you get your team, show the work, and
Hmm.
you can certainly make things happen for sure. Yeah, that was a point. I forget who a past episode, but I do remember there was another past master that had somebody that was like right, right. I might have been a Delphic Union. I think it might have been AU. Where I
I'm
think
sure.
Sandino may have mentioned that, or
I
Kev.
ain't sure. Hmm.
But
I know Kevin, and when they rebuilt Delphi Union, yeah, definitely him and Gene. Yeah, and Brooks, all of them was real
yeah,
tight, pulling it back together. Yeah, you definitely need that. Hmm.
gotta have it. Gotta have it.
Hmm.
You said you might have opened with two people. I don't know. Can we open with two people?
They can't. No, they can't. They can't. That's the problem. But they said we're gonna sit there and have a meeting. We're gonna be here. So it was crazy. It was, and I just felt bad because there's some things that happened that I think if I was present, because I'm in a weird position because I've been in masonry for a long time, almost 20 years now, but I'm only
Mm.
37, right? So it's like it's a weird dynamic that I have connections with some of the older peoples because I've seen it before technology took rampant in masonry.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
also I'm like, bro, like I'm emailing. Don't send me, just email me. We ain't need to have a meeting for this, right? So it's a weird dynamic, and
Mm,
some of our brothers, just to be very transparent, so the people in Michigan know, like we ended up having the prominent pillars of our lodge leave and go to a different lodge. So like
Mm.
so that's why the lodge was failing because like
Okay.
7 people left. One was a past grandmaster, another one's a grand lodge officer, then another one was
mm,
a strong past master, another past master, and then like 4 other members. They left because of internal strife, right? Um, Hindsight being 2020, that's good because they're happier where they're at. But then also when we came in there, I don't experience some of the things that people talk about. They be like, "All right, your past master be running." We don't do that. I'm the treasurer of the lodge
Yeah.
right now,
Hmm.
and I don't really mess with the worshipful master like that. Like I'll pull him to the side and be like, "Hey, bro, like I need you to fix this and like or think about this, right? How can
Yeah.
I help you?" but we don't have that dynamic that every other lodge has, where like their past members come in and run stuff. Like we don't, and that's because we got rid of like a lot of our. Well, not got rid of, they left.
But yeah, they moved on.
You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? They left and
exactly.
did something, but that gave us the opportunity now because like we never would have been able. I'm telling you, when we had that lecture for two ball game, bro, and that
Mm-hmm.
flyer went out, bro. That flyer went out on Facebook at 8:05. I
Mm-hmm.
got called at 9 o'clock, and I didn't work from 9 to 11
Mm-hmm.
because I was talking to my grand lecturer. Shout out to my classmate Dwight Terrence. So I called. He called me. He's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Bro, we good. Don't worry about it. It has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with the location, the history, the context.
The Bible.
Yeah, like simple, simple stuff. Nothing crazy, right? But I'll keep the states out of it. But I had two
Mm,
sitting grand secretaries call me,
mm,
past grand master from another jurisdiction, and then I had two sovereigns call me. Like, what are you doing?
mm,
And I was just
mm.
like, hey, bro, like we're good. Like just chill out.
Yeah.
We would never been able to do that lecture if we had all those other people in our lodge. And that
Mm-hmm.
kind of gave us our little. And one thing we talk about, I think you was asking a question about like, hey, what's effective leadership?
Yep. Yep. That was the next
Sometimes
question coming up now.
sometimes you have to have like a rival, right? You have to create it. And so
Okay,
think
okay,
about
I
this.
get what
So
you're saying.
this is a concept.
Mm,
So when our lodge was building back up, we will let them know like, hey, they think we're the underdogs. They don't think we can do it. So that's what we're telling them, like, but we're better than that. We're St. Mary's. We're 1867. Come on, bro. Our Grand Lodge was officially formed in 1865. So let's get it. So also too, we was like, hey, we were actually me and Hernando was actually hoping that we didn't win Lodge of the Year just so we can go back and be like, see, they don't respect us. And like go crazy, like now we gotta work harder because they gonna respect us. Let's go. And like so that was like this motif because like we like you just need something to like for everybody to gravitate towards. And it wasn't a
mm-hmm.
person. It wasn't like a person, it was just a concept of
Ideal.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I get you.
So
Mm-hmm.
you ain't gotta say, oh, like we say them over there, like who are you talking about? Like, I don't know who them was, right? I just know it's everybody but St. Mary's. Everybody but St. Mary's is not on our team. And we're St. Mary's and we're gonna be the best. And so that kind of
Well,
kept us going and kept us moving and stuff. And that kind of made my job a little bit easier. And then when Hernando came and became worship master, because he jumped from junior warden to worship master,
Mm-hmm.
like his organizational skill, he's a army vet, like man's thoughtful. So his organization still took us to a whole nother level. And then I just kept with being in the background, like just being a rah person. And so like our lives kept moving. And fortunately enough, every worship master we have since then has gotten better. So we're in a
Nice.
good spot.
I understand that the creating a rival part. I ain't gonna say that my law did it on purpose, but I know when they first came around and joined Prince Hall, for some reason, some of the Prince Hall members was around, you should treat them kind of funny because they didn't come from Prince Hall, wasn't born that way. So that created something that
Yeah.
made them want to strive to make sure they was the best. And that created a culture of excellence in the lodge and stressing it throughout the years. And now that ghost is gone, but the main part of trying to be excellent is still there. You know what I
Oh
mean?
man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. And then I stole something from my old job, and so our lodge when we were coming out, we would tag everything we did was where innovation and execution meets. That was
Mm,
our lodge's tagline.
mm,
So it's like we would innovate. We would do everything you wish you can do it, but we'll do it even better. You still wouldn't even have it done. So
yeah.
that's kind of what we pushed at. It's a tagline in everything we did, where
Yeah.
innovation meets execution.
Yeah, it's dope. Like I said, it's imaginary because you ain't really trying to fight nobody. You ain't starting
Nope.
beefs with other lodges and
Nope.
like that. It's just a motivating factor internally. So that's definitely
And,
a dope
and
way to look at things.
we'll find anything. We finally, after 5 years, we finally won this thing called the traveling gavel. You can only get
Okay.
the traveling gavel at a Grand Lodge event, and you have the most amount of members.
Mm-hmm.
So we had 14 members. Like we had like four past masters come back. All of our officers were there. Like it's like I said, it's 14, and we stood tall and proud. And we came back like, you see this? And so like people taking pictures with it. It was just like I said, our lodge is moving in the right direction right now, and that was an awesome thing last year, winning that
that's
traveling
awesome.
gavel. Yeah.
It
Congratulations.
also takes me back to the story of the U. That's where that whole the U comes from or whatever. Because people
Mm.
counted them down so much or whenever, and they was like they was at an event or something. They was like, you forgot about the U, like the who, the U, and they took over from there or whatever. So
Mm.
yeah, the same type of thing of feeling disrespected, but keeping on the right
Yeah.
path.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Let me a clarifying question real quick too.
Sure.
So speaking of numbers, do you remember how many brothers were in the lodge when you were Worshipful Master, and then like where you are now roughly?
I thought it was probably close to on roll because we held so many people, right? So it was like a
Hmm.
weird thing. So the people that we held and we paid their dues from were probably like in the 50s, but actuality, people that paid their dues were probably like maybe 20.
Mm.
Wow,
Okay.
that's a
Now,
lot of brothers holding to.
oh, we
Mm.
cleaned it well. Hernando, he cleaned
Yeah,
that
yeah,
up.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Chop, chop, chop.
With
My
love,
man's
with all
got it.
due respect. Yeah.
So now we're sitting little like around like 40, but like all 40 who pay
Nice.
dues now. So
Hmm.
Mm,
it's a
Dope.
different
Dope.
ball game, you know.
good progress. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
The now the brothers that left the lodge, how is the relationship with the lodge currently? Are they if is there one? Are they kind of cool with them or
Yeah, actually, they're like the city over, and we see them all the time. So like
okay?
we speak to them.
Hmm.
There's one that I got a funny feeling for is because I don't know. Me and him just have to sit down and have a conversation one day, and then I think we'll be
Hmm.
straight. But everybody else we had a conversation with, like I've talked to that I interact with, and they
Hmm.
told me why they made their decision. I was like, hey, I respect that. That's cool, and
Hmm.
they don't have any ill feelings towards St. Mary's, and we don't have any ill feelings towards them. So
Yeah, it's
we're
great.
good. Yeah, yeah, we're good now. Like I said, it's just that one brother. I just have to have a conversation because sometimes I just don't know. But everybody else is chill.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
they that is kind of a small motivating factor. I won't lie. When we were in the chair, because we were like, all right, cool. Like being transparent. If we would have continued it down the path, I wouldn't have been mad if Grand Lodge came and snatched our charter because we weren't functioning as a lodge, right?
Hmm.
So if that would have happened, I couldn't be mad because
Yeah, of
it's just
course.
a business decision. But
Hmm.
that was one of our motivating factors. Like, hey, y'all thought we was gonna die? Like, nah, bro. Now we like, and now this is the year that we're getting to doing our own degree work off the top of the dome. Like, it's like again, it's it's 5 years in
Hmm.
the making, but now we're getting to that point where we got that last little notch that we need, and I think we'll be like the perfect lodge in the sense of like perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what we do,
Hmm.
degree, fundraising, our
Complete.
books
Yeah,
are
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
complete. Maybe complete is a
Complete.
better word.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
And so this year is the first year that we put on our own EA degree with us doing stuff off the top of the dome. I did the
Hmm.
EA first lecture. I've never done anything like that. I'm really trash at lectures, so that was fun. So
Yeah.
it's a great time, man. So like I said, and one thing I want to add to people who are watching, I was doing a training in somewhere else, and it reminded me. It told me that in organizations, you have to do something 5 times consistently before it becomes, or 5 years consistently before it becomes part of your culture. So if you start any new program, if you don't do it at least 5 times, it's not going to be part of your culture. It's not going to be. So we are like, hey, our standard of being progressive and very chill in our decision making, like we're now at year 5, that if somebody's, now that we're bringing new people in there, they already see our culture within us. They're like, okay, cool, they chill, they get their business done, but we don't have long meetings, right? If we can schedule something via text message, we'll plan a whole entire event through text message. And like they have to come in into that culture and like morph to our culture. And we don't have past masters who, like I can say truthfully, none of our past masters um are mean. They don't come in there aggressively. They don't talk down to any of the new bros. Like I've never witnessed or seen. I haven't had a new bro have any kind of issue with that. Um, they still have some things that they like, some fundraising
Yeah.
ideas of like, hey, I'm not for the car wash, bro. I'm just sorry. Like, it's not gonna
Um,
happen. But
Question on the
yeah.
age of your past masters. Do you have any really that's really older?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just took over as treasurer for our
Well, when I
treasurer
mean
emeritus.
older, I actually totally mean be out of the generation X before generation
No,
baby.
that's what I'm
Yeah, baby
saying.
boomers. Okay.
So what's weird is there's this big huge divide, right?
Hmm.
So there's a recent past masters who are like the me, Ray Spears, Hernando Flowers. So like we're there.
Hmm.
Then the next group is people who are worshipful master in like 2002, three, and four.
Hmm.
Then it was a big huge gap, and then it's like people who were worshipful master in like the 80s.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
that's the kind of, and it's like a big gap between them two. And even the
Hmm.
bros in the 80s, they come in there and he'll, like Willie Campbell is like a staple in our area, and he'll come in and say something, but he even supports what we do. And it's kind of wild seeing him from what I've seen, because I met him when I first came in 20 years ago, and that's not how Willie Campbell was. So he grew, and he communicates differently with us too. So again,
That is amazing and
yeah,
fantastic because a lot of time that's the issue. the older brothers, like the baby, I'm gonna say baby boomers, and the few that we still have from the silent generation, they failed to change and evolve their mindset to support the next generation, and that what kind of hurts. And you have those brothers that complain about the old past masters. It'd be a lot of that generational problems. And so
Yeah.
it's good that the brothers are willing to have that change. And that's like the same thing. I try to stress that same thing in my lodge personally, because we're mainly Generation X. And we're,
Mhm.
so we are the older ones. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
try to keep them in their mind that, listen, let's still be flexible, let continue to grow, let the younger brothers do what they need to do, as long as they ain't violating no constitutional rules or nothing like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
still sometimes you gotta help them, remind them that the order in Freemasonry isn't just about the craft, it's actually about the order in your life too. You know what I mean?
True.
So you got the things that we do outside, inside is for practice outside. So they have
Oh, for
to
sure.
remind them of things like that. Yeah. But that's cool.
100%.
Hmm.
Yeah. And what I also noticed is I'm glad, Stephen, that you talked about, like, I mean, you have your team. Like y'all were
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
doing work. One thing that I think, just from my experience, seeing older brothers willing to pass the torch, but they don't trust that the younger brothers are actually going to do the work. It's like there's a
Hmm.
lot of like lip service, and the younger. I'm saying younger, even though I'm 42. I'm still relatively in the younger class, I
Hmm.
guess. But there's a lot of like talking and ideas with no action behind it. And so again, for brothers who are younger or eager and frustrated, you got to show that you're willing to actually do the work too. And if you showing and doing the work may mean not doing what you want to do, but actually showing up and still doing work that the lodge needs. And then you build that trust over time. But just coming up with ideas and talking, and really not executing, not doing any degree work, not coming to any meetings, not doing any fundraisers. You show up to a party or two, but if you can show, it sounds like you, Stephen, and the brothers that were with you, were actually putting in the work. And so,
Oh
I
man.
mean, that was easy for the brothers to give you the torch. And they say, okay, yeah, these brothers are serious. Like they
Like I
together,
always say, that's
organized.
the key to the past master's heart.
Mhm.
Doing the work that's currently there, then they'll trust you with the keys, and then you can take it over from that point.
Yeah, it's just communication, man. And we were
Mhm.
fortunate because we took off in COVID, and so when COVID happened, the rest of the state is kind of trying to figure out how to navigate that. But
Mm,
Hernando and I are already younger, so we knew how to use Zoom and other stuff. So we were able to jump out ahead from that standpoint. And there's just a
Mhm.
lot of, and this goes into another question that you guys had reached out earlier for is
Mhm.
with leadership. One thing that I've done,
Mhm.
um, that somebody taught me is when I think about somebody, I send them a message, right?
Mhm.
So like I have probably I think I looked it up the other day. I have like 480 something text messages,
mhm,
and I don't delete them on purpose. And what happens is if I think of somebody, I say, hey bro, I'm thinking about you, and I'm very specific. I don't want anything. How are you? And I say it all the time. So I might check on somebody once a month, maybe once a year. Like one brother, I didn't talk to him for like a year and a half. And I was like,
Mhm.
hey, my bad. I haven't talked to you in a long time. That's on me. You good? And then that's it. So what
Mhm.
happens is if you do that consistently, then you'll be able to pull on levers and you can use people. Like I needed a project done really bad for the Grand Lodge. Called up my boy. He's in Michigan, but he lives in Florida. Shout out to Malik. He knew we had a
Mhm.
deadline yesterday. I was at camp. I called him. I was
Mhm.
like, hey, bro, this deadline needs to hit. Malik jumped up. He's like, I got you. And that's because I've never asked for a favor from Malik ever. But when I thought of Malik, when he moved to Florida, when he did these things, I'm like, hey, you good? What you doing? And like I had a general interest in him. And there's a saying that came from my old company from Stevie Louise Piazza says, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they're not gonna do nothing for you. Right. So that's and then if we want to talk about the 12-inch gauge, I can tell you that's how I got a lot of stuff done is through stuff like that.
Yeah, Matt had stressed that point last week about, I think it was last week, definitely about reaching out to people and stuff like that. We
Yeah.
had a good discussion on that and how important that is, communicating with your brothers.
Yeah, I mean that's the reoccurring theme is
Hmm.
having relationship. Like we get
Yeah.
caught up in masonry and the ritual and I love the ritual. I still believe that is the key differentiator between us and any an
100%.
NAACP or whatever other organization. Like join those if you want to do that, but to come here, you need to know this work. But
Hmm.
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's still a fraternity
Hmm.
and the
Mhm.
relationships. genuine relationships, not just this surface level type of stuff, but deep
Not
relationship,
transactional. Like you
transactional, and
definitely,
they
that's
like
exactly what you stress,
yeah. And
Stephen. Not
you're not gonna
transactional.
be close with everybody, but you should
Mm,
have some. I mean, this thing is about relationships
Hmm.
as well. So it's great to hear that you were intentional about building those relationships as a leader. You know, if even coming out of the seat, I'm sure you probably still maintain the same
Oh,
practices.
100%.
So I'm curious now about like how you engage. You talked a little bit about how you engage now as the treasurer with the Worshipful Master.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how you show up as a leader now. I mean, you're a district deputy grand master
Hmm.
and the treasurer of your lodge. You know,
is it
how are
of
you
your own
showing up?
lodge? Are you the
Yes, sir.
district deputy of
Yeah.
your lodge? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, you the
Mm,
deputy of your lodge too?
We don't have that term. Like I'm the district's on there, so my district goes from a certain location from Romulus, Michigan, all the way to Lansing, which is like a basically an hour and a half drive between all
yeah.
of them. So I
Mm,
got 5 lodges in between there, and my lodge is in the middle.
Got you.
okay. All
Yeah.
right. Cool. Cool.
In New
Cool.
York, we
Mm,
have we assign lodges for the most part to district deputy grandmasters a little bit, or you get assigned a lodge or two.
mm,
Um,
That works like that in Detroit because Detroit's very concentrated. But like
okay.
yeah.
outside of Detroit, like it's all geographical based. So like
Okay.
Mm,
mine's all based off of like location, and what we do is our consistory is the same geographical location. Our shrine is our York Rite, our Royal
I get
Select.
you.
So it makes
Got
it
you.
easier. Yep.
Okay. So how are you showing up now as a past master or a right worshipful? How are you showing up now as a leader?
Uh, One big thing is the older past masters try to use my right worshipful title, and I try to let them know like just and also this is for me too, like just to tell them like, hey, like I don't have a gold collar on, so like I'm past master Barrett, so don't try that, like don't pull that. And I do that for 2 reasons. One, it keeps me humble, and then two, they don't confuse my statements with what the grandmaster says, because
Mm,
that can get you in trouble. So like
mm-hmm.
I try to be very clear of like this is how I believe and this is how I feel. And then other times when I'm switching, I'm like, hey no, so I've been told and this is from the grandmaster. So that's one. um, Other thing that I'm at right now is I had a young brother that I've known for like probably 12 years now. Good friend of mine. He's our junior warden. He came up with an idea. Like I don't know if you guys have festa boards there, but we do a festa board from the Grand Lodge with the Grand Lodge in Michigan.
Hmm.
So we have this joint event between the two of us. So we're like, hey, let's do it as a lodge. We're the first lodge to do it with our counterparts, right? So he planned and execute the whole thing. Literally 2 weeks ahead, we're like, dude, ticket scales are like half of what we wanted it. But in those situations, whether you believe or didn't believe, but I believed in this event. Like I truly liked it. But if you don't, as a leader, if that's that person's first big major event, you're gonna have to push it. Like you're gonna have to go hard, go ham, because once he sees the results, then he's gonna double down on it, and then he's gonna do more work because he
Hmm.
sees results from it. So when that comes out, what happens is, oh, I was the first one to buy a ticket. I actually bought 2 tickets by accident because I was just like, oh shit, I gotta buy a ticket.
Mm,
So I'm like, I'm gonna be the first one in there. And then also too, if I'm the first one to buy a ticket, I'm the first one that can make a comment though. Like you're gonna hear my opinion. I already spent my money, so you finna hear what I like and what I don't like. You know what I mean? So that's what I do. With all my if I can't make it up, like in Lansing, they have a fish fry. It's too far from me. So what I do is every other Friday, I'm donating to the fish fry, and I crack a joke on the past master Barkley. Say any past master can get some of this money except for him, and I just because I have a good relationship with them, so we cracking jokes. But I support them, right? And I show up on time. The other biggest thing too is you have to learn how to draw a line in the sand because I'm very like friendly.
mm-hmm.
So then you have to let them know like, hey, we have a problem as a district every grand master. Like we have a problem, we need to fix it. How we're gonna fix it together. So I think now I do like performance improvement plans with people. I write down like all the stuff. Like I'll send them an email, a text message recap, and a phone call recap if we have the performance and fix something that's in the lodge. So there's crystal clear communication. And then lastly, if it's a good idea, everybody else did it. If it's bad, it's my fault. So that's easy. So if it doesn't work out, like I had an event, I had something happen, we missed the deadline. It wasn't on me, but it's on me. But prime example, I don't know if you saw, Mark, you probably saw the video recap that came from United Supreme Council from the
Mm-hmm.
donation, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
came from my department, right? So
Mm-hmm.
immediately, what most people would do is, here you go, Sovereign. I made your video. Look at it. It's great.
Yeah.
No, I literally sent it off and I was like, hey, like I didn't touch this. I don't know how to edit. I literally talked for 5 seconds in the beginning and I didn't do anything else except for give them direction. So
Mm-hmm.
there's these brothers. So I made sure those brothers were named and I said they did all the work. I didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I made sure it was clear to the sovereign. I made sure it was clear to a couple other people. Because you don't take, we learned that in all things, especially in rural arts, you don't take credit for something that's not yours, man. Get some stuff chopped off.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't take credit. If I didn't do the work, I'm gonna tell you I didn't do it. And also too, that stops them from asking you to do something you can't do. Especially if they think I can do videos, they're gonna call me and say, "Hey, can you make this video?" Like, no, I can't. Call him. But I think that's how you come up and that's how you show up. And then people will trust you. People will work with you. They'll work for you. Like I said, I called Malik and I was like, "Hey, bro, I need you." And he came in. That's why I make sure when they see this podcast, Malik, you was a beast. You did all that. You helped out. You made it happen for the Grandmaster, and the Grandmaster knows it was you. It wasn't me, right? So those are the ways we go.
Yeah, I want to say something about the message you just said. Now, I could tell what you're saying is genuine, right? Because you was already doing that early in the podcast without saying, and I already got it written down. Give the people the shine they deserve before you even said that. I could
Appreciate
tell
you.
that's just how you are. That you actually believe that because that's what you were doing, like this whole podcast, making sure everybody else got the work.
Oh,
Give
100%.
the shine that they deserve. And I'm glad you made that little flip towards the Royal Arch or whatever. So anybody that part of that understand that and take that back to their
Yeah, bro.
chapter. You know what I mean?
Get some stuff chopped off. It's cool though, bro.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
So yeah, that was pretty good. All right. So going back to the 24-inch gauge part, how do you balance all this, especially with your family? You got the 3 kids and your job and everything like that.
All right, so I'm gonna tell y'all. See, everybody like some people ask me, so I'm gonna tell you a secret. I joined all these other houses when I was in college. I didn't have no kids, so when I came back, I just reinstated, and I ended up getting sucked into stuff. So that's how it really happened. Just keeping it real. Like it wasn't. So
Yeah.
I was raised in 2008. They kept telling me I don't know how to pay my wages. They kept mocking me, and so they bullied me into joining the Royal Arts 4 months later. So I joined the Royal Arts 4 months later, and then 2 years later I joined the consistory. I got mad because I didn't understand the consistory, and I
Mm-hmm.
thought they were just trying to pocket run the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So I just left. I
Yeah.
was like, forget y'all. Then I joined the Knights Templar, and I was just confused. And then I just, then I
Yeah.
left that for a couple of years. I paid again in 2014, and then I paid everything back. So I was able to get just reinstated. So the only
Mm-hmm.
new degrees that I took. Oh, and then I got the OES with my wife back in 2012, right?
Okay.
So what happens is I ended up coming back, and my problem was is I paid all the dues, all this stuff during COVID, so like I didn't have to like really do a lot everywhere, and I was just teaching. So I was like reading. I was trying to follow. If y'all ever know like Mike Williams from Oklahoma, like that brother
Mm-hmm.
is genius,
Okay.
bro, genius. So he reads like 12 books a month. So I'm only
Mm-hmm.
reading my
Wow.
one or two,
Oh, I know
right?
you're talking about. I know you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah,
wrote the
yeah,
books. He
yeah,
wrote,
yeah. Yeah, the
hey,
books.
the
Yeah,
book,
yeah.
all them
The
books. Man.
esoteric masonry, esoteric
Yes,
lighthouse. Yeah, yeah,
him. Yup.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
how we started that podcast. It was COVID. That's when we started that podcast, and I did a
Mm-hmm.
couple stuff on there. But
Mm-hmm.
so what happened is I did small things in there, and because masonry was dying, I was in a unique situation where my skill set and my team was able to go to like each house and like rebuild it. So what happens is we did first we went to the blue house, right? And then we got that kind of up and running, gave us some pillars. Then me and Hernando left, boom, went to the Royal Arch, did the same thing. Then we went to the consistory. Then Hernando was actually in front of me, and oh yes, well he went to OES, start building, and now he's a G, and I just call him. He's my, you know what I mean? And then he was the first Prince Hall to be the monarch of a grotto,
Mm-hmm.
in Ann Arbor, excuse me. Just
Okay.
Ed McIntosh was the first one in Michigan, but he was the first Prince Hall monarch,
Mm-hmm.
for the grotto, and we just kept the same type of structure. One, I schedule everything out. And then two, I'm very fortunate that my wife is supportive. Like I could do none of this if my wife wasn't like, "Hey, cool, you can do it." So she'll ask me sometimes, or we have a joint calendar, and be like, "Hey, I got this." Like Prince All American this day, and I put in there like, "Hey, what do you want to do?" Like at USC, my kids were there. You know what I mean? My kids and my wife are there with me, so that lets me do some of these things. But also too, you have to have non-negotiables. Like next weekend, my wife has a big thing that she's doing. We're having like a baby shower for one of our family members. If the family members have an event, all this shuts down. Like it
Down.
don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gone, so I'm with them. Um, but if not, and if I get too far, she starts giving me a little cold shoulder, and I realize like, oh crap, I'm messing up, and then I kind of pull myself back, and then that's when you won't see me for like 2 weeks, and then I'll pop back up, and I just do work while
I,
I'm at work.
why I think you read your wife the opening charge to the Royal Arch.
Hey, man.
That's what you just described, but
Yeah,
Oh Lord.
it's real out here. She over there in the kitchen right now. I'll make sure I don't talk too loud so I can be okay when I get off of this call. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
But
gosh. How long you been married?
12 years.
All
Yeah,
right.
he just celebrated his anniversary a little while
Yeah.
ago, yeah, a couple months
So,
ago.
oh, dude, hey, Mark, this is bad. My anniversary is on Memorial Day, and you
Yeah,
know what happens every Memorial Day?
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
bro, it's hard. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't
yeah,
understand. And
yeah.
being a director, it's like, oh, I
Yeah,
can't like not
yeah,
know.
dope. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so
Mm,
there's a lot of compromise on that one. I'm like, hey, we got to
mm,
figure stuff out. But that's really it. And then the other thing too is people don't realize, and I try to tell people like I'm really not that smart. I just use resources better than you. That's it. So I use delayed delivery text. So if I think of something in the middle of the night, I'll with the Android phone, you can text it, hold the send button, and then you can pick what time you want to send it out. So I'll send stuff out at different times just so that like I can so I don't forget. I do delayed delivery emails. I use Outlook for everything. ChatGPT is my very friend. Like I don't do minuscule tasks. I don't do it anymore. I do it with ChatGPT. I'm like, hey, here's all the stuff I need to do for this week. Like figure it out. Tell me what the best case. I can't do anything between these times. Boom, I put it in there and it gives me a plan and I just run.
mm. No. Well, I tell you what, man, you just told me something with that delayed delivery text because I didn't know that that was a thing. I do a bootleg. Like I just did that with Mike Epps because I'll be up early in the morning reading his book. So I'll be wanting to text him. It's like 6:30. I ain't gonna hit you at 6:30. So I just type
Right?
it up and then leave it there and come back to it later to hit send. But now I know way I can do it. Schedule it. Thank you for that. I appreciate
Bro, it's a delayed delivery text, man.
it.
So like I was thinking about when we're thinking about this podcast, I was actually shocked. Like there's literally for my USC team, that's like
Mm,
almost 18 people.
mm,
So
yeah.
it's like big. Like it went from like 5 people to 18 just in like two like just recently too. So it's like it's a lot. So I have to use these little tips and tricks and be like, hey, like, cause I can't keep it all, cause I forget stuff, man. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to use a calendar, use those things, and then have a good accountability partner too. So like Hernando, like I said, is my best friend. I'm his self-proclaimed child's godfather. Like I told him I was going to be the godfather. It normally goes the
Mm,
other way around. Like, no, that's
mm.
my that's my man.
Owned it.
Like yep.
Mm,
So like I can leverage him if I can't do something. I can be like, hey, bro, 911, I need you, and he'll come through, right? And vice versa. If he needs me for something, I'm like, I got you. Like if he can't make a meeting or something, like I'm like there's times where he had something to do. If he couldn't make it, I'm like, oh, bro, I'll go there. Just tell. I'll talk to Samira because my wife is my sans too, so she knows Hernando very well because we all was on the same line, pledged together. So I was like, hey, I gotta go help Hernando. She knows what's up, and she doesn't fight me or
So the
anything like
moral of the
that.
story is everybody got to find a Hernando. Everybody
Oh,
yeah,
find a
yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. If you
Hernando.
can find a
No, they call
Nando,
him
you're like,
doctor. They call him doctor. They call him
mm,
doctor. Mark, I'll send you his LinkedIn page, and
okay.
please just send him a message like, bro, you got. He has so many letters. Like LinkedIn doesn't have enough spaces for how many letters he has behind, how many certifications he has behind his name.
Mm,
He
Yeah.
stopped. He has to
wow.
rotate them out. Yeah, the man's a genius, bro. It's crazy.
So
Well, I just want to do a quick flashback to something you said because I don't want to act like a secret squirrel. On Memorial Day is that's just the United Supreme Council
Oh
meeting
yeah,
that time or
yeah, yeah.
whatever. So I don't want anybody to think we doing something special that
Oh
makes
no,
us
no,
killing people on
no.
Memorial Day or something. I
No, no, man.
don't
I'm just killing my feet, man. I went to that USC and I had hard bottom shoes on, bro, and I was running around. Oh man, rookie mistake, bro. My feet hurt so bad
oh,
after that. Oh yeah, man, rookie mistake, bro. Rookie mistake. Never again. But
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But yeah, definitely. So I know you have done a lot and accomplished a lot so far. So what's some of the thing you have like was very most proud of yourself or proud of your lodge during your time as worship master?
I think the lodge getting larger years old is gonna be like we talked to one of our past master. He was actually raised in '76.
Mm-hmm.
So in his lifetime, our lodge has never won Lodge of the Year.
Mm,
So like that brought him to like he was downstairs in the basement of us. Like he was like, what? We got he was just holding it and just looking at it. He was so proud, man.
that's
Like, oh,
beautiful.
like that's probably one of the best ones. That moment. The other moment that I'm not gonna lie that I almost cried and I was like I was gonna punch him in the face. So Hernando became the worship master after me, right?
Mm,
In the back of our book, we have a past master apron presentation.
mm,
We're like at the tail end of COVID, so we're not physically meeting. He's like, hey man, can I take the meeting from your house? Because I got some stuff to do. I'm gonna drop it off for you. So we're having a meeting. I'm sitting in the same room right here. And then all of a sudden he's on the call. He says, hold on one second. He turns around, he pulls out a past master apron for me, and he started doing a lecture off the dome. and just looking at me,
Wow.
bro. And I was just like, oh, dog. Like I was just like, I got the apron, the gavel. It's on my in my bookshelf over there. But that one hurt because like we've never done it before, and the fact that he did it off the top of the dome, and I know how that works. That means you have to
Mm.
learn that a while ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he did it in front of me, like bro, like I said, I almost cried. Um,
I don't know what
and
the almost for, man. We need to cry more. Cry. I was just telling my
oh,
wife that proud moments, let them emotions out.
nah, it was a man. We was in the meet. We was in the meet. I didn't want to slow
Don't
the meeting
subdue,
down.
do not subdue that passion. Just let
Passion.
it go.
Exactly. You let it out. Yeah.
Oh man. Um, and then I ain't gonna lie, man. What was crazy was um I had like an inkling of being I know this is an ancient craft masonry, but it's like I had
Mhm.
an inkling that I would have a role to do in the media relations department at USC.
Mhm.
But I'm sitting there and I'm listening to the sovereign's allocution, and he's like, "Hey, the newly formed media relations department is going
Mhm.
to be Sublime Prince Stephen Barrett," and it was like, "Yes, I said it right, Sublime Prince." So like that's like a historical account. Like no one, everybody that's on there is like 80% is sovereign grant inspector generals, excuse me,
Mhm.
sovereign grant inspectors general,
Mhm.
and then the other ones are grant inspectors general, right? So
Mhm.
like,
Yeah, it was at session. It was like
oh,
Sovereign had his coin and like Stephen Barry. I'm like, where's
oh
Stephen
yeah.
at? We go get
Oh
the
man, I was in the airplane coming home, bro. I was like, man, we had recorded all our stuff, we had
yeah.
everything. I was like, man, I'm out, man. I think I'm done. So I was that was shocking to me, but yeah,
Yeah.
man, just hearing that like that, like I didn't realize that it's gonna be that monumental. And for people who are watching this, because I reflected on this a lot, and I wanted to make sure to make this clear statement. I'm just a product of when you have strategic mentorship. So what happens is when I was Worshipful Master, my mentor and my best, like one of my good friends, Lamont Arcole, excuse me, right Worshipful, Lamont Arcole, right? I told him I was getting ready to be Worshipful Master. I didn't have some of these skill sets. He told me, he put me in contact with somebody. He said, call this brother and ask him to mentor you. So I call him up. I'm like, you're good at this. I'm bad at it. Can you mentor me? He's like, cool. How frequently do you want to talk? Do you really want feedback? No, and we set up these parameters. That was back in 2019 in December. And now I'm happy to say that that man is my friend. I keep it quiet because people might try to think they might think I have like
Yeah.
I get special treatment from it because I don't
Mhm.
actually have to do more work because I know him.
Mhm.
but but he's worked with me and literally we speak every day. It's like odd if we don't talk after 2 or 3 days. And so what happened was is when you have a crystal clear mentorship and you have defined roles of like, hey, I'm going to help you get there. And he never used me to advance his Masonic career. So
Mhm.
like he didn't use me. I used him all for his knowledge, right? And I listened to what he said and I pushed back sometimes. I was like, hey, I think that's stupid. And I'll tell him straight up. And he was like, no, it's not. Like, this is why.
Mhm.
And then we'll go back
Mhm.
and I listen. So like I have like 7 or 8 mentors in different houses in different areas. And I'm the product of that. That's how I got here. Is because that and then people were talking about me in rooms that I wasn't allowed in. And I was very fortunate.
One thing I do want to say along that same vein, I know I've seen it with you and a couple of others out there in Michigan. Y'all in Michigan seem to do a good job with that mentorship relationship building between brothers to help elevate and educate brothers that or I have seen at least maybe because I just roll in certain circles. I don't know. I hope that other jurisdictions will hear that and take on some of that because it definitely helps advance the jurisdiction and gets produces good masons. That's the purpose of this whole thing is to produce good masons above all. And it goes beyond past the actual art stuff. It involve into the actual personal lives. So that's definitely a good thing.
Oh,
So
100%.
shout out
100%.
to Prince Hall Masonry in Michigan definitely for doing that
Appreciate
great
you.
work.
Appreciate you.
Even
Absolutely.
that and like that and you mentioned it and I know my man my classmate who's a district deputy grand master too that large improvement program thing. You know what I mean as district deputy
Oh,
get your lodges on track on to help actually come up with a plan to help them improve work with them. My
yeah.
man my classmate James Wright
Oh,
same thing.
that's one of my mentors in the consistory. So you know his
Mhm.
passion. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness.
Mhm.
Wait, Jay Wright, if you see this, bro, don't yell at me. You're my guy, and I appreciate you. But he's he's one that you want to talk to. Passionate about masonry, ancient craft masonry. He has a very interesting story.
Mhm.
He's one that you probably want to tap into because he just has a
Yep.
very unique way he thinks. And Mark knows
Yeah.
that's a wild dude.
We birthday twins. Our birthday's the same
Oh,
day.
Y'all good then. Y'all good. I get it. I see it now. I see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool, cool. I love it.
Mm.
Like and subscribe, everyone that who is listening right now. Like the episode, subscribe to the channel, share it, share it, share it. I got a couple of things I wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask. I got a question, real simple
I'll
one.
be
Hopefully,
short.
it's
I'll be short and concise. Don't worry. I got you.
this one, and then I got one more on leadership.
Yeah.
Or maybe two more on leadership.
That's fine. That's
Because I
fine.
do want to see the other side of the coin. There's a lot of things that have been going right. My question is, one, what is a grotto? First of all, like let's clarify
Okay.
what is that for the brothers who don't know or sisters who don't know, and then let's talk a little bit about a time where, or how you handle when, as a leader, you ask a brother to do something and they don't do it. Like,
Okay.
has that happened to you before? Do you just, or are your relationship just that great that whenever you say
No,
do
no,
something,
bro.
they actually do
No, I got man. I got too many of those. We can do a separate podcast. It's just when they told me no.
it?
Well, a grotto is the mystic order of veiled prophets of the enchanted realm. What that is it's a subsection, not subsection,
Say
but
that again one time, a little bit
oh,
slower.
mystic order of veiled prophets of the enchanted realm. Yeah. It
Okay.
actually started in New York. Um, and what it is it was literally created to be the playhouse for Masons. So it's not a Masonic organization, but you have to be a Mason, be a part of it. And it's about sympathy and good fellowship. So what we do is we help out with the Humanitarian Foundation, which gives dental work for free for any kids that need dental work. We have a fund that will literally pay it. So if somebody sees this and you have a child and you don't have like insurance for it, we do it all across the country. Shoot me a message, reach out to me, and I will make sure to find somebody in that area that would get it, and we'll pay like whether it's $5,000 or 20,000, we'll pay for it. Um, and also and then we're just, how do I put this nicely? We're rambunctious. We're kind of a wild, like we hold motions with randomly wild. Like it's not that super proper like uptight Mason. No, we don't do that. It's just a place for us to have fun. That's it.
Okay.
Literally have fun and help people fix their teeth.
That's it. Appreciate that.
That's
And
it.
so on the leadership tip here, just one example or just a time that you can remember where, or how do you handle those situations
Oh,
where
100%, 100%. This easy. Well, I'm not gonna say that situation because that brother's actually really active in the lodge, and I don't want to be embarrassed because like people that watch will know who I'm talking about. In a different
Mm,
way, in a different lodge, I'm a district deputy, right? So
mm,
I had to go into a lodge. Um, they miss executing on certain items of the Grand Lodge. The Grand Lodge is like, hey, if you're supposed to turn this paperwork on this day, they're like literally for 2 years they just kept missing it, right? Um, Even after I told them, I would email them. It's just like it
mm,
would go in one end out the other. Finally, what ended up happening in this situation is when I would travel to that lodge, I sat down with that lodge. I literally was like, hey, so I'm gonna just be straight for you. I read from the code and from the edict of what they needed to do. I'm like, so understand that this is not coming from me, but we're missing it. All right, we didn't turn it in. No big deal. It's gonna be fixed from here on out. I actually put myself on the committee. I told the worship master put me on the audit committee and some other stuff, and I met with them and then I would kind of coach them through and they were actually really, really receptive once they do there. And I had to, I want to say probably about spend 6 months of meeting outside of their lodge meeting in Zoom meetings, text messages, emails to kind of get them in order and get them on track, right? And so this is the first time that they didn't miss it, but like literally they were like the first 2 years I was district deputy grand master, like they never turned that stuff in on time, like never. Other thing too, what did you say before? Get yourself a Hernando. Boom, Hernando's a dope secretary, so I had Hernando go up and be like, "Hey, teach them," because I wasn't a subject matter expert. So I was like, "Hey, I can like audit this stuff, but I don't know how to like do it." So I'm gonna get somebody that does it because he'll tell you like, "Hey, you need to fill out these forms on these days, do this." So I sent Hernando up there with me. I was like, hey, help him out. And so now he has a relationship with a member in there and he helps, opens up for that new brother. I have a relationship with them too as well. And now we're pretty smooth, but it was rough for like a couple of months because I'm like, hey, y'all are just missing the ball. And it was just operational efficiencies and they had some internal stuff going on. So once we came down to the bottom of it, we was able to figure it out. And then once they realized like I'm not there to be a bad guy, I really wanted to help them. Um, it was cool. But like I said, for the first 2 years, I was district deputy grand master. They would never turn that paperwork out on time. Never.
yeah, so it sounds like one of the leadership nuggets is thank you. I appreciate that, the sharing that. It's good to see the other side of the coin. One of the leadership nuggets is as a leader, when you see folks who are sort of under your purview or your sort of your supervision or just sort of who you're supporting, you're actually willing to support them. And I mean, support, what it sounds like from you is actually investing your time outside of what you may have already planned for. So let's just say you've already sort of in your mind said, I'm allocating X number of hours,
Yep.
to this task or to this role as district grandmaster. There's a situation that's requiring me to give more time now, and I'm willing to
Yep.
do that because I'm in this role, and it's that important to me as a leader to not only just give sort of orders or directions, but actually roll my
Or
sleeves up and be a part of the solution.
that reminds me, real quick thing too that will help you out. If you're leading somebody and you ask them to do something, give them feedback on what they do. And so what happens is I gave them said like, hey, you all have to send me this report beforehand. When they would send it to me, I would actually look at it and give them specific either props or like, hey, these are some opportunities, but you can tell I actually read it. It wasn't any fluff. Like I would say, hey, on page 14, you said this, and this. I think it should be this. This is what I'm thinking about. What do you think? Because what happens is if you do that one or two times and you do not respond back to them, then they're gonna be like, all right, you're not, you're just checking the box, and they're gonna check out on you, and they're not gonna
Mm,
do anything you wanted them to do. But if you go in there, and this is with anything, like I said, with my junior warden that had that festive board, like I read his report and I was like, hey, what about this? I don't drink alcohol, so I was like, what about like people like me? Is this a realistic price? And he knows I'm invested in him because he's like actually a friend. Came to my house for Thanksgiving, like that's my dude. But you got to do that because if not, they're not gonna trust you. They're not gonna work for you either too. And that's how they knew I cared because they're like, I'm reading everything they send out. If they send an email out, I'm responding back to it like, hey, what's this? Or good
yeah,
job, thank you for being on time. You know,
definitely. Yeah, that feedback loop is certainly important. Communication, number one skill in the planet.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Communication.
definitely, definitely. And you have your final question, Matt?
Yeah, last question. You probably understand where this question might be coming, but let's just say 2026, not 2025. I don't know what your calendar year is like in Michigan, but let's just say 2026. Knowing what you know now about your leadership style, knowing what you know now about your lodge, St. Mary's number four, knowing what you know now about the state of masonry in Michigan. If you were to go back into the seat as worshipful master of St. Mary's Lodge number four, what would be one or two things you would focus on?
Oh, easy. Just realizing and understanding that not everybody has to be a super mason. I have one brother that's in my lodge. I don't care if he comes to one meeting because his role and what he does, he's so well connected in Ann Arbor. Like he knows mayors, judges, all these things like this, businesses. I'm like, I would give him very crystal clear direction of like, hey, you do this. I don't care if you come to me. I don't care if you do degree work. All I need you to do is if St. Mary's is doing something big, I need you to have a shirt on. I need you to say St. Mary's with the governor, with the mayor, and whoever else you meet. Another brother, I used to be, remember I was telling you I was arrogant when I was younger, right? I used to think that if you want to party, that you were bad. What
Mm,
I realized, what a past master told me was, you can forgive your brother. You're not going to forgive a member. So if you don't have a
mm,
relationship with each other, you're not going to forgive each other. That's just another member. You can go home. So a thing that our lodge does now is we always have food. I would continue that, and then also too, I would set up something where you would have to interact socially and just consider consistently do that. And then the last thing is knowing what I know now, I would have everybody buy the book called Gun Ho. It's one of the best leadership books I ever read. It
The gun
transformed
ho,
my
gun ho,
Gung Ho. Yes,
gun ho, gun ho.
it's the best leadership book I have because it teaches how to move a group of people in one direction. So all I have, if I was first smash, I'd be like, hey, my senior and junior warden, we're gonna read a chapter a month, and we're gonna get better at leaders.
Will Hernando be your senior warden again?
Oh, he won't. Bro, his wife Mercedes probably won't let him do it because
mm.
we was gone all the time.
Oh my gosh! Oh
Oh
my
yeah,
gosh!
Past Master Barrett, we definitely thank you for
Thank you.
coming on the show this evening. You have blessed us with a whole lot of things to think about and some jewels to take home as part of our toolbox. Things such as give the people the shine they deserve. Sometimes you either create a rival as a motivating factor. Keep in contact with your brothers. Once you care for them, then they'll care for the organization. Relationship is extremely important in all that we do. You have to do things 5 times and before it becomes part of your culture. Them think about building a team of brothers is important. To have those two brothers around that y'all can run together and come up together. One particular thing I noted down, lesson for you district deputy grand masters out there, make sure things is clear, statements of which is yours and the grandmasters. Don't try to abuse that collar and try to act like everything you're saying is like coming from the grandmaster. That ain't it. Definitely. And when also giving feedback to work that you give to people is important because it shows that you care and it'll keep them accountable. So I definitely thank you for those things. I thank you for being on. I know I learned a few things this evening from you,
Oh,
and I
thank you.
appreciate that.
Absolutely. I want to echo Mark's sentiments for sure. Past Master Barrett, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for the transparency, the honesty, the laughs. It definitely was a good time hearing your story, hearing about your journey. I'm thinking in my head right now, like who the Hernando I need to find on scene because that yo, I'm telling you, man, like Jordan needs Pippen, Kobe needs Shaq. I mean, everybody you need that. It's just something
Yeah.
about that. The Clay, Clay Thompson needs Steph Curry.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
just something about having that partner with you, it just really stood out to me. Thank you for sharing what a grotto is, because I had no idea. I'm laser focused on Blue House stuff. Like I don't
Oh,
really know nothing else outside this. So I
that's
appreciate
good,
always
bro.
learning about all these new organizations, not new, but just things
Yeah.
New to
outside of
you.
the Blue House. Um, and also that whole that inspiration through kind of like they counted us out, almost like DJ Khaled, like they counted us out, but we here now. So I love how you bringing that energy and how you really use that as fuel, not to be cynical in nature, but to actually drive some real change. So much
Hmm.
appreciation for all you do for the Blue House in Masonry out in Michigan, but also in all the other houses that you also are showing up as a leader, providing innovative solutions, not just talking about it, but it looks like you're actually getting in there, making it happen, staying consistent. So I'm big on consistency. Like consistency is probably one of the most powerful tools.
Yeah.
That's with most things in life. Just if you can stick around long enough, you'll be just fine.
Bro, that
Oftentimes,
hey. People like, how did he get there? I was like, bro, just showed up every time.
just show up.
Exactly.
Just show
I ain't
up.
even mad at. I ain't even mad at it no more.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So thank you, brother, for
Hey,
being here.
appreciate you.
Yeah. So we always say, the world needs leaders, and leadership starts with leading ourselves. It's impossible for you to be a leader of other people if you cannot lead yourself. So please, please, brothers and sisters, friends and family listening to this episode and any of our episodes, please take what you heard today, try to apply it to your life. Make sure you're executing on the information, even if it's just one thing. So please take this to help you become a better person, better a member of the craft if you are in the craft. And until the next time, God bless.